Hello and welcome to the Strategic Sourcing Insight. Today's topic is circular economy, and generally we follow the traditional linear model, that is take, make, and dispose, and this has dominated for decades. But it's failing in today's world of resource scarcity, climate urgency, and rising regulatory pressure. The circular economy offers a compelling alternative. Instead of waste, we design for reuse, and instead of disposal, we source for repairability and recyclability. Guess what? The transformation starts with you, the procurement professionals. Every supplier decision, every material specification, every contract, it's an opportunity to drive circularity. In this video, let's explore how procurement can power a circular future strategically, responsibly, and profitability. The circular economy is more than just recycling. It's a new way of thinking about how we design, produce, and use everything around us. In traditional linear economy, we take resources, make products, use them, and then throw them away. It's a one-way path that leads to waste, pollution, and overconsumption. But in circular economy, the goal is to keep resources in use for as long as possible. Products are designed to be durable, repairable, reusable, and recyclable. Waste becomes a resource. Now, material flow in loops and not in straight line. It's about creating value without creating waste, reducing our environmental footprint while boosting innovation and efficiency. And here's the key: procurement plays a central role in making this happen, because the choices we make at the sourcing stage shape everything that follows. So, circular economy isn't just a sustainability trend, it's a smarter, more responsible way to do business in 21st century. Let's be clear, circularity doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design, and procurement is the engine that drives that design forward. Every time we choose what to buy, how to buy it, and from whom, we are shaping the life cycle of the product. We decide whether material will flow in a linear path towards waste or circulate back into the system. Procurement professionals are no longer just a cost controllers, they are value creators, sustainability leaders, and change agents. So, by embedding circular thinking into sourcing strategies, contracts, and supplier relationship, we can reduce waste, conserve our resources, and create long-term resilience for our organizations. If circular economy is destination, then the procurement is the vehicle that gets us there. The power is in our hand, and the time is now. So, how exactly can procurement teams support the circular economy? It starts with four key strategies, that is, design for circularity, collaborate with suppliers, apply life cycle costing, and enable material recovery. And these are not just a buzzword, they are actionable levers that procurement can pull to build the sustainable closed loop supply chain. And let's break each one down. So, first one is design for circularity. So, here we have to specify durable, repairable, and recyclable product. Then choose modular or upgradable design, and then avoid mix material that are hard to separate. This is point number one. Point number two is collaborate with supplier. So prioritize supplier with take back or reuse program. Then include sustainability criteria in RFPs and build partnership, not just transactions. So continuation to circular procurement strategies. Next point is life cycle costing. So here we have to go beyond upfront cost. Uh, so we have to include in that maintenance, energy, and end of life cost. Evaluate total cost of ownership, that is TCO. Align sourcing decision with long-term value. So this is point number three. For point number four is material recovery. Here we should include take back clause in contract, enable reverse logistics and reuse of packaging, and plan for recycling or repurposing at the end of use. So here circular procurement isn't a plug and play button. Generally it runs into systemic friction at nearly every step. Vendors aren't ready, budget don't account for long-term value, then there is a weak ecosystem for sourcing secondary material, and our procurement RFQs to contract were never designed to factor in reuse, recyclability, or end of life value. Internally, you might face a pushback. Team sees circularity as extra work or a low priority CSR box to check. And on top of that, the tools and data needed to measure impact simply doesn't exist in many organizations. So without circular KPIs or LCA tools, your strategy risk becomes just a feel good document. And finally, in many regions, government policy is either missing or inconsistent, which adds risk to investing into long-term reverse logistic or recyclable content. So we are going to discuss about recognition of barriers about and find out the solutions on that. So first recognition of barrier is supplier readiness gap. So many vendors are unfamiliar with circularity principles or lack in third party certification like ISO 14001 or cradle to cradle. So what is our pain point is no reliable supplier pool with proven circular capabilities. So here the difficulty in benchmarking the vendors. So we have some example to show that in many developing markets, SMEs lack recycling partnership, and this is delaying sustainability sourcing. The third point in key challenges are upfront cost versus life cycle value. Generally, circular solutions often involves higher initial investment, that is in design costs, reverse logistic, and traceability technology to trace the material. And the pain point for procurement would be budget approval and short-term KPI clash with long-term savings. The real example shown here is a circular packaging project was rejected by global FMCG firm due to a 12-month ROI horizon, even though it broke even in 18 months. So next point in key challenges are weak market for recycled and reused material. So recovered material often vary in quality, availability, and compliance. Market incentives are misaligned because the material comes in different grade, different specification, different values. So that's a problem. And the pain point for procurement are hard to include recycled content specification in tender without reliable sourcing. And the example here shown is in electronic sourcing recycled rare earth material is nearly impossible due to fragmented supply chain. The next challenge is procurement process mismatch. In traditional RFQ, SLAs, contract, and ERP fields, those are not designed for circular KPIs like reuse rate, end of life cycle clause, or remanufactured component usage. So, what is the pain point is a team must spend extra time rewriting the specifications. So, example here is a global automotive firm had to redesign over 300 sourcing templates to include circularity clause. One of the major challenge here is organization resistance to change. Generally, circularity feels like a sustainability project and not core to procurement bottom line role. The pain point for procurement is mindset shift is needed across the organization, internal stakeholder like finance and business users. And the example shown is in a major PSU procurement staff delayed a circular project citing lack of management interest despite leadership ESG goal. So data management and tracking capabilities also a challenge for us. Generally tool to access circular performance, that is material flow, circularity index, emissions are underused. So procurement pain point is hard to measure impact or justify decisions without clear traceability KPIs. The example shown is by observation we know in India most MSME lacks product level life cycle data, making green sourcing nearly impossible without custom audits. Next is policy and regulation gap. This is very important for circular economy. Generally, it's inconsistent government policy or incentive across the region for circular material or reverse logistics. So, pain point for procurement are hard to build a cross-border strategy when compliance shift rapidly. Example shown is EU Green Deal incentives help offset circular cost, but similar framework are under initial development in ASEAN countries. To overcome the barriers we discussed, organization need a multi-pronged enabled strategy. First, develop your suppliers. Circular success depends upon their readiness. Next, shift your focus from price to value using life cycle costing. Then back it with the data using digital tools that helps track material and measure the circularity. Procurement also need a better legal framework. Contract must support leasing, reuse, and take back. But none of this will stick unless your internal teams are aligned. So, circularity must be embedded in culture and KPIs. Finally, don't forget policy leverage incentives aligned with national regulations and shape that landscape through advocacy. When all these enables work together, system strategy suppliers, circular procurement becomes not just possible but powerful. Circular procurement doesn't happen overnight. It's a transformation journey. This roadmap helps uh, organizations to move from vision to action. First, assess where you are today. What category produce the most waste? Where are your suppliers on their journey? Then build capacity, train your teams, update policies, and choose the right digital tools. After that, run pilot projects. Start small but designed for scale. Prove the model in one of two categories. Once the pilot succeeds, move to phase 4, scaling and institutionalizing circular procurement, and finally becomes an innovator, collaborator, influence policy, and help shape the future of sustainable sourcing. Every steps on this roadmap creates long-term value, not just for your business but for the planet. Now let's look at some real-world examples where circular procurement isn't just a concept; it's being actively practiced across industries. Take Philips for example; they moved from selling light bulbs to offering light as a service. Customers now pay for the light output, not the physical product. Philips retain ownership of the lighting equipment, handles maintenance, and ensures it's properly recycled at the end of the life. This model keeps material in circulation. Next, HP has pioneered a closed loop system for its printer cartridge. Used cartridges are collected, recycled, and turned into new ones, reducing the needs for virgin plastics and cutting down waste dramatically. IKEA is also embracing circularity. Their furniture buyback program allows customers to return used items which are either resold or recycled. It's a bold step towards extending product life in retail. And closer to home, Indian Railways has implemented a robust scrap management system. They systematically collect, auction, and recycle waste amount of metal scrap, proving that even government institutions can lead the material recovery. These examples shows us the circular procurement is not only possible, it's practical, scalable, and already driving impact across different sectors. Thank you.